Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Launch Coast Football. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Chelsea.
and we took a quick week hiatus. I deal with some personal stuff, but we are back. The NFL season is now, I guess, well past officially over. Chelsea, we never got your takes on the entertaining, fun, glorious, spectacular Super Bowl game that was Seattle, New England.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. I mean, if you guys listened to our episode before the Super Bowl and then our like NFC AFC Championship episode, you know that the outcome of this game was not particularly surprising to me. This is what I thought would happen. Honestly, I didn't think the Patriots stood a chance, to be completely honest. And I mean, it's not like Sam Darnold lit the world on fire. I mean, he went 19 of 38 for 202 yards, a touchdown, and no interception. So, I mean, it's not like he was out there throwing five touchdowns like Mahomes, or Jalen Hurts or people of that caliber. But you know what? He did enough. Kenneth Walker won Super Bowl MVP. I would say he deserved it. I mean, he had 27 carries for 135 yards, which is particularly impressive considering the Patriots front, which is probably the most daunting part of their defense, just generally speaking. Um, Jackson Smith and Jigba got, like we projected, put on Christian Gonzalez for pretty much the whole game. And Christian Gonzalez played really good. It was
Jason,
really impressive.
if you went to his game scene, because I think Jason only had like 3 or 4 catches because he missed about a quarter and a half with like some
Mm-hmm.
ankle or knee thing.
That's
But
true.
but like if you had that like oh Christian like and Jigba's only gonna have like less than 50 yards and they go New England's gonna hold him to 5 field goals. Like, oh, I guess New England is gonna like win or be a close game. Like, no, it was just
Yeah,
it's a beatdown.
that's true. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba only had four receptions for 27 yards, though one of them was for 16 yards, and I believe it was in a pivotal moment of the game, maybe like the third quarter or something, where he had a big catch. So one of those was important. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know he got hurt, but even still, those guys are so jacked up on adrenaline, like, they're just playing through like
Yeah.
whatever. The fact that Christian Gonzalez went out there and allowed four catches to arguably the best receiver in football, that should tell you all you need to know about how Christian Gonzalez is going to get paid when he's off his rookie deal. Because
Yeah.
after that performance, there's probably an argument that he's the best corner in football, which would be hard to dispute after that performance.
I remember,
Very impressive.
I remember he almost had a pick. I think at the end of the first, yeah, at the end of the first half. Like I'll say this with Darnold, it wasn't like Darnold was like protecting the ball, not putting it in harm's way. He almost got picked off about 2 or 3 times in the game.
Yeah,
And Gonzalez, it was a case that like he had the ball and the receiver just slapped it out of his hand, just playing turning to defender at that time, in that
yeah.
moment. But I don't just going off the narratives that's been building the past few weeks. This whole narrative now that Drake May is like a schedule much and Drake May, he's really not that. Just like, okay, guys, calm down. We don't have to. Everyone here will still take Drake May above Sam Darnold in the NFL. Everyone will still take Drake May in terms of this starting your team with. He'll still be top five, top 10 off the board as a young quarterback. It's just he went against an elite defense with really bad offensive line play an elite defense against really bad offensive line play made Mahomes look pathetic. It's been 2 weeks off. I'm rusty. Makes Tom Brady look pathetic. The Legion of Boom make Peyton Manning look like garbage in their Super Bowl. So just calm down. Like Drake May's fine. This is his second year. He had his moments. He clearly looked like he did not look that well though. I'll say that he didn't look the best. But I'm not sure how much that was. Oh, the lights overwhelmed him versus the Seattle defensive line overwhelmed him.
Right. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it though. It was pretty bad. I mean, that was probably the worst performance by a quarterback I've seen in quite some time. Obviously, the O-line took a lot of flack for their performance, specifically Will Campbell. There were narratives coming out literally after the Super Bowl ended. People were asking Mike Vrabel if he was going to switch to guard, like literally after the Super Bowl ended. And he was like, no, why would you ask me that? Personally, I think Will Campbell will be fine. I think he's really good. I think he's just a rookie and he played against a really good defense. Um, but I think for a quarterback, it's different. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that Drake May is still going to be a pretty good NFL quarterback. I don't think you can judge the entirety of his projected NFL career based off of 2 seasons, in which one of them he got absolutely throttled in the Super Bowl. But let's be honest. I mean, the standards for quarterbacks are higher than every other position. In the playoffs, you're going to be playing the best teams. You're going to be playing the best defenses. So, as good as he may have looked during the regular season, and he certainly did, and as good as he looked against Houston, I mean, Houston was not a slouchy defense. Houston had a good defense, arguably the best defense in football, in my opinion, and he played relatively well against them. Um, but the standards for quarterbacks are just higher. I mean, if he goes out again and performs like this again, there's going to be a narrative. There's already a narrative now, but if
Yeah.
he does not improve upon his performances in the playoffs specifically, it's kind of like Josh Allen. Like everyone knows Josh Allen is really good. Josh Allen has won an MVP. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in football. Josh Allen has his Superman moments just like Mahomes has, but Josh Allen has not won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen never wins a Super Bowl, that will hang over him. That's
Yeah.
just the reality of being a quarterback. And I would argue that it's the same thing for Drake May. I think it's probably all uphill from here. I don't think you could really get much worse in a Super Bowl than how he looked outside of garbage time. But the reality is, he is going to need to figure out how to beat good defenses. He's going to need to make better decisions. They're going to have to improve their O line, and they really need to go out and get some more weapons, especially at receiver. I mean, if Drake May had Jackson Smith and Jigba on his offense in the Super Bowl, he probably would have played better.
Well,
So I do think some of it is on the general manager and the scouting team and who they've picked for the team. I don't think it's all on him, but he's going to need to rebound because if he plays like this in the playoffs again, people aren't going to believe in him. I mean, that's just the reality.
well, May also has the issue of he did have a weaker schedule. Now he's going to deal with a first place schedule next year,
It's going to
and
be
just
really interesting to watch him
and the
next
fact
year.
and the shadow hanging over everything is this is you and Vrabel are supposed to be the new Brady Belichick. You are now playing in the shadow of the greatest quarterback of all time and the greatest dynasty in NFL history. And good luck. That's a lot of pressure to deal with.
I mean, I will say in fairness, they're not ever going to live up to that because that was the most historic quarterback head coach pairing of all time. So there's no chance that they're going to live up to that unless they just happen to be the next greatest quarterback and head coach pairing of all time. But I doubt that. I like Drake May. He's a Carolina boy, played at Carolina, so he has a lot of fans in the ACC here specifically, even if they're not Patriots fans. But I think it's pretty obvious after this game that the Patriots have issues. They have issues at O line. They need a lot more skill players on offense, specifically at receiver and tight end. And Drake May's just got to make better decisions, but he's only, what, 22, 23? I mean, it's not like he's out there and he's 31 years old and he's playing like this. So he has time. I don't think people should freak out and write him off as a bust because he played bad in the Super Bowl. I'll just say this, if he plays bad this upcoming season where their schedule is a lot stronger, there are going to be real questions
Yeah.
around him. I
Let's
mean, look
say,
at someone like CJ Stroud. Look at the rookie season CJ
yeah,
Stroud
no,
had. He was amazing. And
that's
now
the
people
biggest
are like,
fear.
are the Texans trading CJ Stroud? And it's like, no, dummy, they're not trading him. He had a bad season that was injury riddled. Come on now.
You get a dummy from Chelsea. Like, no.
That's just so silly to me. Like you've seen what he can do. I understand maybe if you don't want to give him top market QB money, which is what it would take in fairness. So if that's the argument, I get it. But if it's a this guy isn't talented, he sucks, like that's literally not true. We've seen what he can do from his first year, and we saw what he did against the Colts. I mean, I know that's not saying much, but gosh, it personally victimized me, if that means anything.
I'll say this with Seattle and New England. I think because Drake May, he was running up for the MVP. Matthew Stafford really showed he was the MVP because he was the one player for 3 straight games decimated Seattle's defense, and
It's true.
there's a transition to the next segment, which
Oh,
is
wait, I just wanted to say, can we just take 3 seconds to acknowledge the fact that Philip Rivers, off of a week and a half of practice, almost beat this team?
the boys Hall of Fame.
I know he didn't beat him, so it doesn't matter. It's like a moral victory.
But it
But
was like a
bro
fit.
played better in his 40s against this team than the Super Bowl MVP than the MVP runner-up. Like, can we just take a moment? Bro came off his couch and almost beat this team. That's insane.
It took like a 50-yard field goal from Jason Myers to beat Indy that week, and it's just like that's your Phil
So
Rivers,
crazy, dude.
why he's
Speaking
so
of,
good.
he probably should have won MVP, honestly. Kenneth played great, but Jason Myers was just out there. He was just killing
Like
it,
I'm
dude.
doing everything.
Yeah, it was like what? They've had four field goals in a row, I think. Five? Yeah. Honestly, he probably should have won. That would have been historic for kickers.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee would have freaked out. He would have been like, kickers are people.
Well, one of the things we know is not going to win MVP. The Kicker ain't going to win the MVP for the regular season, which honestly we probably could have picked a kicker and been just as close with our predictions. We decided
True.
we did, we did predictions this year for all the awards, and yeah,
It's bad.
yeah, it's bad. This isn't like the divisions, like where it's kind of passable. You understand? No, it's bad. It's just straight bad. We both for MVPs. Matthew Stafford won the MVP, obviously, a historical season, amazing season for a 37-year-old. Chelsea picked Joe Burrow. I picked Patrick Mahomes. So Chelsea picked someone who got injured in the early part of the season,
And
and
then came back.
I picked someone who got injured in the later part of the season.
So safe to say it didn't work out.
Safe to say, I'll say this: if Bull had a fully healthy, because I don't think like we watched Mahomes, there's no way that Chiefs team was going to make it to like the playoffs at some point.
No, no skill
That
player help
that
on
since
offense.
that Cincinnati team with Burrow, if they would have somehow snuck their way in the playoffs, I don't think they probably would have with that defense, but they somehow did. But Burrow put up the numbers that he was putting up like later in the season. He had a chance, but I still don't think they
I
make the
agree.
playoffs. But
Yeah, no, their defense was too bad.
so I thought Mahomes was going to have like yeah, we just lost the Super Bowl, so now let me get on my revenge tour, and that didn't work. And Bo just
That's
got
what I
injured.
thought for Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow was hurt last year.
So
At
yeah,
least I think he was. So I was like, oh, he'll come back. He'll be great. No,
no,
no.
no, he was healthy last year. Last year he was healthy. It's just
What was
because
it?
of
His what injury did he have? It was
two
his
years
toe,
prior,
right? His
the turf
turf
toe.
toe.
Yeah,
Bro, turf
and
toe. Sounds like the most mild injury of all time. Then if you actually look it up, it's like
it's like
bad.
it's gruesome. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
Don't look up, kids. Um, offensive player, yeah. I'm gonna pat myself on the back because it was Jackson Smith and Jigba. I picked the wrong receiver. I picked Justin Jefferson, and Chelsea picked Saquon Barkley.
Hey, mine was an offensive player like Jackson Smith and Jigba. So
Mine was an offensive position, and mine was a receiver. I just didn't think, JJ McCartney would be the worst quarterback arguably in the NFL this year. I thought, okay,
honestly, I think you could plug Anthony Richardson into that offense and it would be better. And that's
yeah,
saying a lot because Anthony Richardson is pretty bad as of this current
at least
moment.
he's mobile. At least he will be
Yeah.
able to use his leg because McCarthy is technically mobile, but he doesn't really use his legs that much. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, my pick of Saquon Barkley, I really should have known better because literally every year a running back has a good season. They usually have a season that's
That,
not as good the next year.
yeah,
So
that's the reason why I stay away because I said Barkley had
I should
over.
have known better.
Yeah, I think he had close to, if not over, 400 carries because he went throughout the entire postseason because he won the Super Bowl. So I said, okay, I'm not touching him because I've seen running backs get that many carries and have it fall off. My thinking
Right.
was, okay, Jefferson, he's going to get McCartney. McCartney probably not gonna be the best quarterback, but he's Jefferson's going to make him
He'll
look
be
good.
serviceable.
Wasn't even that. If he had Carson Wentz, he would have. Whatever. That's just
He could have put Joe Flacco on that team and they
Joe
may have
Flacco.
made the
Joe
playoffs.
Flacco gets a lot of wins for that team. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Defensive player, yeah. Chelsea, pat yourself in the back because you got this one. I had Aiden Hutchinson, and Chelsea had the sack record leader, the force of nature, the beast of the the beast of the NFC North, Miles Garrett. Um, so
This is
I
me patting myself.
so yeah, I picked myself. I picked a defensive lineman too. I thought Aiden Hutchinson was gonna come back, have like again a revenge kind of. But I have a big thing with revenge. I don't know. Maybe that's saying something about me. I have a
Yeah,
thing like.
no, I just had a feeling with Garrett. I mean, he had a pretty good season last year. Not good enough to win. I don't think he won Defensive Player of the Year last year. But this year, I was like, nah, bro is probably the best defensive player in football. I was like, maybe the Browns will be relevant, maybe not, but he'll be good regardless. And he
It,
was. They were
it,
irrelevant, and he was good.
yeah,
Yay me.
the Browns were not the Browns were relevant because they wanted to know who was playing quarterback. They weren't relevant because they were winning games.
That's a fair point.
And it didn't matter. This guy was a force of nature, and he was. A lot of people say, "Oh, he played in 17 games," but technically he had less snaps than I think Strahan, T.J. Watt. So he wanted to play
Mm.
semantics and we can play semantics that way. He got the record. It
That's
doesn't matter.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Because
I saw.
people always do the game thing, but I guess if you have less snaps, that kind of evens it out.
Yeah. So
The
I,
more you know.
I guess. Well, I guess when you get a lead on a team, all you're doing is running the football. So you're not really.
Yeah, that's fair.
So now it's time to pat me on the back because I got the comeback player of the year award with my guy CMC. And Chelsea, actually, this one you picked Aiden Hutchinson, but
Which honestly was not a bad pick because
no,
he was hurt last year. He came back. He looked great initially. So I
but
was pretty confident in this one, but it didn't work out.
CMC was the only player on that team that didn't get injured.
Yep,
Everyone else on that
true.
entire 49ers team got injured, except for him, the guy that always gets injured. Who, if you had CMC,
Well, just an aside, he has this narrative that he always gets injured. He has not been injured since he left Carolina years ago. So can you really say he's always injured at this point? Because he
Chelsea,
has more time not being injured now than he
Chelsea,
did with Carolina.
I picked him first of all in last year's fantasy draft, and he played like 3 games.
Yeah, but he's been more healthy, generally speaking, than he was in his entire tenure with Carolina.
How many? I feel like he missed. What he didn't miss like a full season. He probably missed like he played like only. There was times in Carolina where he only played like 5 or 6 games in a season. I think he did like 2 or 3, like once or twice. And then he
Yeah,
had the one year in San Francisco last year where he just played like 3 games and that. I feel like I guess when you compare because he's getting
he
compared a lot,
deserved it though.
he gets compared a lot to a guy like Derrick Henry who never seems to get injured, or like some of the elite running backs of this era.
He
So
had
I
a hurt foot last year, Derrick Henry did, because I he was getting me like 12 carries for 46 yards in fantasy.
at least he
I'm
was
like,
playing for
dude,
you.
goodness gracious, you're killing me.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm happy. Oh, you got your one and I got my one. Let's see how it works out the rest of the way. Offensive Rookie of the Year. You had Tyler Warner, which was a good pick. I have Cam Ward. That was not a good pick. Um, we were both wrong. It was Ted McMillan.
Tyler Warren was a good pick in the first half of the season.
Yeah, before Dan Jones got injured and everything just everything went down the toilet for you guys. You well, even then, is he even the best rookie tight end with Loveland in Chicago?
Personally, I still think so. That is not my biases. At least I don't think it is. I think he was just a stronger prospect coming out of college, and I think if he actually would have had his quarterback the whole season, that he would have finished the season better than Loveland. Though Loveland did come on, in fairness. I mean, Loveland looked really good at the end of the season, so it's not a dig at him. I think he'll end up being pretty good. I was more low on him when he got drafted.
The
But I
podcast
think
listeners didn't see me get the side-eyed when he's like, I think
But I
unbiasedly.
mean, coming out of the draft, that was the national opinion. The national opinion was that Tyler Warren was the better
Oh yeah,
overall tight end than Colson Loveland. And when the Bears took Colson Loveland, the entire nation laughed at them because they were like, you took the second best guy. So I think you give Tyler Warren an entire year with the same quarterback. I think he probably plays better than Colson Loveland does, just because I think that there's more targets on the Bears offense than there is on our offense. So I think Tyler Warren would get fed more than Colson Loveland over the course of an entire season with a healthy quarterback. But of course, that is all just conjecture. You can only go off base what happened. So, props to Colson Loveland. I mean, he looked really good in the playoffs. So,
well, props to Ted McMillan who actually won the Rookie of the Year.
yeah, Panthers
Offense,
fans actually had something to be happy about for once.
yeah, he honestly just surpassed everyone's expectations. Everyone knew he was
Yeah.
going to be good, but he became the number one target for that offense, and
And the crazy thing about it is that he had drops during the season too. Like he had drop issues this season and he still won it. So if he can get that figured out over the off season, I mean, he could probably be at least a 1,500-yard receiver, assuming they get some more weapons. I mean, he's a clear one. That is a great draft pick for the Panthers. I wish he was on my team.
Yep. And for defensive rookie of the year, excuse me, I picked Abdul Carter. Chelsea picked Will Johnson, which again I think your pick was a little better than my pick, a lot better than my pick, honestly. But it ended up going to Carson. I'm going to butcher his last name. Schwensing,
Schwessinger.
Schwessing. You say it.
Schwessinger, I
There we
think.
go. The
Yeah,
Browns linebacker. Which
he was really good. I
yep,
wanted him during the draft. I think he went in the second round.
he was
I
the
wanted
first
us to
pitcher.
draft him.
The first pick in the second round. And you know what? The exact argument I had for Carter, which is a great defensive line with Brian Burns and with the Giants. He's going to get a lot more attention. That's what exactly what happened with Carson. And the fact that Garrett took up so much that Browns offense on defensive line with Garrett took up so much space that he was able to basically roam free. He had 146 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, two picks. He was the first pick in the second round. I don't want him in my division.
He
Honestly,
is really good. I
I
was
wa-
up
he
honestly,
was
I
so
would not
good.
have if we had had I wanted us to trade back up into the second to take him because we have linebacker problems. I really wanted him. So it does not shock me that he is playing well. I believe he was UCLA is where he played.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
walk-on. He's a walk-on UCLA.
he's really good. I think he's probably going to be a top linebacker in the next year or two in the league.
Don't say that. Please don't say that.
It's the Browns. You'll be fine. One
They'll,
game a year.
two games a year.
Just don't talk about the other game, but the other game you'll be fine.
Just go. These games are gonna be like 10-7 games, Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 4-3. You're gonna get two safeties and you're gonna win against them who gets a field goal.
Oh man. And coach of the year. Honestly, coach of the year could have gone to like a bunch of people. Like I picked Kyle Shanahan. Chelsea picked Ben Johnson with Chicago. It went to Mike Vrabel. I'm just gonna say this. I still think Kyle Shanahan's the coach of the year, in my opinion. With what he had to deal with that entire, and I know Chelsea, you'll have your argument for Ben Johnson, but what Shanahan had to deal with all the injuries happening to his roster to still make the playoffs, be in a division battle with the two best, in my opinion, the two best teams in football, with the Rams and the Seahawks. I think San Francisco would be number three if they were healthy this year, but you're in the division battle with them, and then you beat that. I'm not gonna say beat down, but like you pretty handily beat the Super Bowl, the reigning champions in Philadelphia in the playoffs. So we're not gonna talk about the Seattle game because the Seattle game at that point just you had nothing left in you. The magic pixie dust had run out. But San Francisco had the season from Hiffle, and Shanahan basically like right the ship completely. He might have gotten Mac Jones a guaranteed spot in the NFL for the next decade of just signal call. It was amazing. We could not believe we were going on this podcast week after week saying, how in the heck San Francisco is doing this?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think there are different reasons that a coach can win comeback player or coach of the year. Like, for instance, Shanahan with his roster management in season. Like, if you're just basing it off of that, then yes, I would give him coach of the year.
Yeah,
But if you're looking at it like holistically, I think that it does make sense that someone like Vrabel or Ben Johnson won it because they took those teams from the bottom of the cellar to the playoffs in
just
one
to
season.
Super Bowl in the case of Vrabel.
Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of what you're arguing specifically because I think Kyle Shanahan, I mean, gosh, I still to this day don't know how they won so many games with all of those injuries. And I mean, admittedly, not something that Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel really struggled with to the same degree. But I think holistically as a coach, I think holistically it makes more sense that Vrabel won it because I mean the Patriots were what last year 3-13 or something,
Like
and
yeah,
they
they
made
were.
it to the Super Bowl the next year. I mean that's pretty impressive. And the same thing with the Bears. I mean the Bears won what 5 games last year, 6 games,
The Bears was just it was crazy how because
and they made it to the NFC Championship,
Caleb
right?
looked like no the division round division.
Division, yeah.
Caleb looked like a bust after like his first season, and now
I never believed that personally.
he looked like one of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks in the NFC. Like honestly, in the NFC after Stafford. is he number two after Stafford? Would you put him in front of Darnold or Dak
You
or?
can't put him in front of Darnold after he just won a Super Bowl.
Okay, but he still threw 20 and he still led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, but five of them were from one game or four. Come on.
Okay,
You can't
okay,
put someone above him when he just won a Super Bowl.
okay,
At
wait,
least
okay.
not for the next couple weeks, maybe when
Fine.
the season starts.
I'm wasting no time with taking Darnold down the peg. Okay,
I
what do you
mean, I
put?
think Dak is still better than Darnold
What do you
because I think he's always been.
So you still okay? So I guess Caleb be in your top four, top five in the NFC.
Yeah, because I mean, you have Dak, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams,
Jaden Daniels,
Jaden
if he's
Daniels,
healthy,
Baker Mayfield,
if he's healthy too.
Tyler Shuck, if he
The,
plays like he did the second
the
half of the
problem is
year. Gosh, he might be up there.
a lot of these guys in the NFC just can't like Baker and Daniels just have and Dak too have serious injury histories that I'm somewhat worried about.
Yeah, obviously you have 49ers quarterback too, Brock Purdy, who's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think you really have to include Kyler Murray in that. If that makes you feel better.
I don't even think is he still in Arizona? I think he's a free
I think
agent.
he is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's been shipped off. Matthew Stafford, I mean Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
He's the best quarterback in the
Um,
NFL, honestly, at this point.
yeah. So I mean there are definite a Jackson Dart. I mean if he has a good season, I think he was looking up at the end of
Uh,
last year. Um, so I'm not saying he's top five. I mean at minimum you have to put Dak and Stafford. I mean, Stafford, Dak, probably one, two, just off the top of my head. And, Jalen Hurts will be up there, Daniels, Baker.
I still think I'll put Caleb in top five.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Caleb's up there too. But I don't think he's better than Dak or Stafford. And I mean, he might be better talent-wise than Sam Darnold, but can we let Sam Darnold be good for like 10 minutes
No.
before the next season starts? Because he did just win a Super Bowl, okay?
No, I'm a hater. Um, oh man, now our last point, which
Oh dear.
technically not an award, but we both had our Super Bowl predictions. And I like to pat myself on the back that at least one of my teams made the playoffs. Um,
Hey!
I had the Eagles over the Ravens. Chelsea had the Ravens over the Lions. So
In fairness, the Lions barely missed the playoffs.
the Ravens missed the playoffs for like this much. Just a field goal
Yeah,
miss.
there's such a strange season. You had so many teams that you didn't expect to be there, not be there, or that you expected to be there, not be there. It was a very weird season. I still remember back in week 8 when the Colts were the one seed.
I,
Feels like a fever dream now.
I still remember when Pittsburgh had like wow, we're in the division lead. It's gonna not even gonna be close. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, then we started falling
Those were
apart.
good times, weren't they?
Oh man, this season was a headache. I
I just need the Colts to extend Alec Pierce now, please and thank you.
just need to
Or
steal.
franchise tag him. Just keep him on the team somehow. Him and Daniel Jones, because at this rate, we don't have a better option. So you might as well. It's not like we're going to be able to take a quarterback in the draft anyway.
I need to steal this a tank. I
Is Aaron Rodgers coming back? He
have
is,
no.
isn't he?
It's 50-50 at this point. I don't know.
Hey,
But
that means it's Will Howard season. Woo!
no, it's fine. Go 2-15 and let's get the first pick. Let's go. I'm game for
Fair
that.
point.
I'm
Arch
down.
Manning on the Steelers, that would just be a crime.
That'd be fine if we still have McCartney as the coach.
Oh dear. Still mad
Oh,
about that, eh?
look, I'm wearing this Phillies hat because I'm moving on. I'm moving across Pennsylvania from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia at this point. I'm just full into baseball at this point.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I'm moving from central Indiana to Chicago. To Wrigley, who at least their stadium is
It,
staying in Chicago,
yeah,
unlike the Bears, who
it's the
may
te
be in Indiana.
you're doing the opposite of what the Bears are doing. You're going from Indy to Chicago. Now you go the Bears are
The
going from
Gary
Chicago.
Bears, bro, that's a crime. I know exactly where Gary is. That should be a crime, dog. So messed up, man. That governor is going to take flack for years if they actually build a Bears stadium in Indiana.
If the Bears actually move, that would be insane. That would be like when the Browns moved in the 90s. these. Like that would just be. But who
Be
knows?
like, do you not have anywhere in that huge city metropolis surrounding suburbs you can put a stadium? Like, I feel like you could probably find somewhere, in my opinion, but what do I know? I'm just a
No,
podcaster.
no, we're putting the Gary in the right next to Michael Jackson's childhood home.
Be like the Gary Bears rolls right off the tongue. I can't
Uh,
have the Bears in Indiana. That means they're going to convert Colts fans, and I cannot have that. That's so lame.
but
Though
we'll
people in northern Indiana probably lean more to the Bears naturally anyway.
that best. Uh,
Had to.
yeah, but we'll know more about that and other stuff next time. Quick little update for the off season. We're going to go back. We're going to go down to one episode a week for the off season. Don't worry, you're still gonna get all our fun little social posts or shorts and all that jazz. But the NFL season's not happening, so this is gonna be less news. So we're going back to one podcast a week. But until then, it's gonna be exciting. Off season sounds like the draft, the free agency start coming up soon. We have
Travis Etienne potentially going to the Chiefs. That would be insane.
whoever knows what the heck if Aaron Rodgers is gonna retire or not. We got other storylines happening. It's gonna be a fun off and even more stuff
Will
happening.
Anthony get Richardson get traded to the Vikings and revive the franchise? Who
Will Ch
knows?
will Chelsea personally pack Anthony Richardson's luggage to ship him out?
I'd like
Who
a
knows?
refund for my Anthony Richardson jersey, please.
Who knows? Who knows what would happen next time on Launch Codes Football? Chelsea hit them with the plug.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Tune back in next week for our next episode. We will still be releasing on Tuesdays during our one episode format. In the meantime, follow us on our social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football, on Twitter /X at Launch Codes FB, and we also have a group chat that I'm sure will start firing up as draft season rolls around on the Chat BCC app. So if you are interested in getting in on that group chat, either send us a text or a DM on one of our socials and we can get you that link. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week.
Adios, muchachos.